Back in it, ready to roll for another edition of Barn Burner. We're all here. We're all in studio. We're all super excited.
Back in the high life again? Is that a...
That's Steve Winwood.
Wow,
That's right.
banger.
That's
Yep.
right.
Not much of a banger.
We don't much of a banger?
Nah, it's
I
a
like
bit of a
that one.
softie, that one.
Well, that's this whole collection soft. But
Yeah.
It was a
I
hit.
think he's saying it's a big hit. He
It's a
likes
big
it.
hit.
Yeah, I don't mean
Yeah, it was a hit.
Like thrash your head to it, but it was
Yeah. His song, was it Roll With It?
Higher Love. That was
Higher
good.
Love,
That
yeah.
was a big one.
Yeah, yeah.
My old man used to
Valerie?
listen to that in the old 300 ZX. T-top.
Hey, welcome. And this show is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get in the game, official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it's another week, which means we're going to try and raise a little bit more money for the Youth Centers of Calgary. All money raised. You're in the YouTube, you're live, you put some money down for a comment. We take the money and get it to the Youth Centers and then put your comment on the show.
Better than us to have that money.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't support our bad
we're
habits.
doing
Give
so
it to the
great
kids.
over here.
It's
Who's
that.
got bad habits?
All of us.
Speak for yourself,
Yeah.
Pinder.
Yeah, I mean, you could either just take your super chat money and give it to the people at the ship, or like kids in need in the city.
That's
It's
right.
pretty
Yeah. could do
obvious.
Did everyone have a fine long weekend?
Does it look like we had a fine long weekend?
I don't
We're all
know.
in here bitching and moaning
Yeah.
and saying how shitty it was.
You know what it is? It's May long in Calgary, boys.
Didn't snow.
I'm sure it's a long weekend that's great in other places in the world, but in Calgary, May long sucks. And now that we're through it, we can get excited about actual summer.
Yeah. Now
And if you were camping, you would have
Prove
woken
it.
up to snow in some parts of the province.
Alberta.
Yeah, I felt bad for all the people that get
Well,
You're so
But
wound
money
up
they-
about May long.
but they know it. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're prepared for it. But you get the camper out of the RV and you get
Sure.
set and it's charging or doing all the getting it full of water and
We're gonna go. It
gonna be
looks
great.
a little wet, but we'll power through.
Love
And then-
being in the outdoors.
By Saturday night when you're sitting in town, cold and it's like, geez,
God, it's nice.
man. So there's a bunch of people
Fireplace
camping
on?
too, right? Yeah. You were not initially going to be here today. What did you have planned that went
Oh.
sideways because of that?
It was just a golf opportunity that was pretty rare. So I was excited to do that. And then the weather looked,
Yeah.
man, it got
Rare.
cast. So we'll see. It's all right. We got all summer to figure this out.
Got it all summer. It's all ahead of
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it's all ahead of you. All ahead of you. How about you there,
How about me? What?
Sunshine? How
I'm
was your
here.
weekend?
It's always going to be here. Wouldn't miss.
Yeah.
What'd I do? Nothing. What
No.
do you do when you have 3 kids that are idiots? You chase them around and let them be idiots.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did all weekend.
Watch the Canucks. What a hell of a game. Great show the Canucks put on. There was a massive contingent of drunk
Yeah.
Melfort Mustangians.
Uh-huh.
Calgary
they're
Canucks.
Full
okay.
effect. It's a good game. Well, the score wasn't wonderful, but it was a good atmosphere over at Max Bell on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Centennial Cup champions.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Brad Moran.
Congratulations, Brad.
Yeah.
Back
That guy.
to back.
That is back to back. Well
Good
done.
turnout, full house.
Was it? Yeah, what does that hold? 3 to 5, somewhere in there?
It wouldn't be 5, but she was
3? That's a
jam
great
packed,
number for
standing
junior,
room
yeah.
only. Yeah,
Tremendous.
Good work, team.
Happy.
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah. Happy for those guys.
Calgary put the boots onto Pacific in a big way, too. 4-0.
Happy.
Just shattered.
Happy. Happy about that.
Good weekend for
Yeah,
those teams.
Happy about that.
Yeah.
We can get into it. Opening statements from McLeod Law. They're the best. We love them. There's that sense of security when you have something that's uneasy in your life and then you get someone to assist you with something. and
Someone
you just-
qualified.
It's a literal, okay, it's a sigh of relief knowing that it's taken care of and you've got the best
You're like,
in order to do it for
this
you.
is like another language. I don't even, how am I supposed to, who can help me with this?
Yeah, we can do that. We
Okay.
will do our best. And you know they'll do their best. McLeod-law.com or whatever it is that you got going on. I've often ripped you and your Flames team from 06 for playing one of the worst or the worst Game 7
Yeah, it was a really bad one.
at
Yeah.
home in playoff history.
It was up there. Yeah.
Is that the
Um,
Chicago?
No,
Anaheim. Yeah.
Anaheim.
Still bad.
Oh, you can't change it now. It's
Just-
in the past.
Yeah, it just maybe slides down a little.
Did you do one of these ones or you?
Oh, and your rankings.
Yeah,
You
just in
take the
terms of
crown and you hand it to the 25 Leafs
worst home ice performances
in Game 7 history.
in a Game 7.
Yeah.
In fact, it ties the largest margin of defeat by any home team in a Game 7.
The one we saw yesterday.
That's right.
2 days ago.
That 6-1 drubbing, whatever you want to call it, as the Panthers move on, the Leafs are done.
Another 6-1, eh?
Yeah. Because their Game 5, similarly at home, not
6-1.
great, Bob. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they rebounded and got
They found a way to get it to 7.
Which we requested. We said, look, it can't be peak chaos unless they go win in Florida, get people to believe again, and then let them down again. And they did that. They're an entertaining team.
There are some who are taking great pleasure in it. There are some who are devastated by it. Rhett, I'll start with you. How would you characterize your emotions and mood for the Leafs, about the Leafs after this collapse?
Well, much like the Leafs in Game 7, I'm indifferent.
Oh, yeah, that hurts.
Right.
I actually, I guess I would say this was the one year I was kind of, I'm not cheering for the Leafs ever, but I was almost hoping they won because
Let's prove the naysayers wrong, right?
yeah,
Who doesn't like something new?
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. So I was okay with it. And I actually was thinking an Edmonton Oilers final would be highly entertaining.
They play entertaining hockey.
Right? Like it would be, the games would be entertaining and the atmospheres would be entertaining. And the Oilers fans beating up the Leafs fans would be entertaining.
They only beat up each other.
Oh,
that we've learned about the Oilers fans.
That is true. Friendly fire.
I didn't know that part. But either way,
self-hate policy.
and the hell that one team would have to go through at the end of that series, also entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great hockey to watch those two, and you've got a lot of great storylines. Yeah, there's a good.
Your emotions.
Guess what?
Well, I mean, so my thought is, look, this is the end for Marner there, in my opinion, and I think it's probably the end of Brendan Shanahan, which we don't really know exactly what he does, but he's been there forever, making a lot of money,
flies back and forth,
avoiding bullets, hiring and firing a lot of different people. But look, they weren't one of the top 4 teams in the league. Are they a bad team? Absolutely not. Are they a good team? Yeah, I think they are. Did they lose to the defending champs who were absolutely built for Game 7s? Yeah, they did. Was it really ugly? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they can't ever win. I just think
so. What
as a result of that loss, you're going to construct things very differently. I think Mitch Marner's played his last game there.
Yeah, I think that this collection of players weren't going to win together. That seems clear. Back-to-back beatings on home ice in the fashion that they took was, they're a good team. They're just not built right for what you need to be built for.
Or they're
in the playoffs.
The 5th best team in the league. You could argue. I'd accept that.
That's fine. But if that's,
if
that's what the goal is, to be top 5, then success. But if you want to get past round 2 ever,
that's gonna be tough.
Then, and the good thing for them is there won't be a so close, it bounces another way, or just,
not in those home games. No. I mean, you can go back to Game 3 and play that game a bit when you're up 2-0, ready for a 3-0 stranglehold, but not in Games 5 and 7.
Yeah, it could have certainly throughout the series have gone differently.
The first 25 shot attempts of the game, all Florida. That's insane.
Yeah. So you got home and you got the crowd behind you,
right,
and the other team saying, "Let's just weather the storm."
Yeah, you just got to survive those first 5. Shit, this is actually going pretty well.
Yeah, we may as well just go get this if that's how this is going to go. Yeah, wild.
So what are they?
They're not
good enough.
Yeah. They're a team that's going to make some serious changes, but they remind me of the Sharks, right? Remember how many years we saw the Sharks in the playoffs? Like 15 out of 16 years. And they were always very good and they had high-end talent, but it was always just, they can't get over the hump in the playoffs. And then when the year where it looked like everything would line up, Erik Karlsson's playing on one leg and they blow a lead to St. Louis.
I would my word of caution for Leafs fans or whatever. Yep. Throw Marner out with the bathwater. That's great. I'm not convinced that's enough.
No, you have to go supplement. Addition by subtraction doesn't work. It's using that Marner money to go improve this roster for the playoffs.
I'm saying your other top dogs were bullshit too.
Matthews was not good. Well, I know they'll have their exit meetings and
they're doing it today right now.
But you know what? The thing is-
Nylander was better, but I think we give Nylander a passing grade because he's got a swagger about him. What the fuck did he do in that game? Sorry, it's working.
Good chance early, couldn't finish it. That would have put them up 1-0, despite being, as we
I
talked
thought
about.
they were outshot.
They were. It was right after that. They weather that storm at 0-0, and they have 2 really good chances. Bob, here's the other thing no one talks about there. Like, we're talking about 9 years of failures. Who's the best goalie they've ever run in 9 years in the playoffs? And is it anyone close to a top goalie in the league?
So exactly. So get rid of Marner. Great. Who's the top? Like,
And Tavares was great this year, then he gets hurt. Wool was great last year, then he gets hurt. It's 2 years in a row. Their number one goalie's been hurt when it mattered.
who'd they go sign?
Stars.
No, a couple years ago, Matt Murray.
They brought Matt Murray in. I think it was part of getting money out from something else. It was a trade with Ottawa, if I'm correct.
Is it Campbell?
Campbell, they let go because Edmonton signed him. They had Samsonov for a year. Like, it's kind of just been guys in net where it's like, if you're going to face Vasilevsky, Bobrovsky, or Rask every fucking spring, I'm not surprised they didn't win a lot of those series.
Yeah, that's the other part of it.
No one talks about the goalies. Like, Freddie Anderson was the best guy they had, but then he'd be hurt when it mattered. So you've gone a decade, and everyone points to these 4 guys who have not been great, but the rest of the roster gets caved in because they're spending so much money on those 4 guys, and they've never had an elite goalie. And when it looks like they do, they're hurt. Stolarz this year, Freddie Anderson 5 years ago, Wool last year against Boston when they were in control of that series.
It would be one of those things too, though, if the goalies were not great, but Marner and Matthews and those guys were
that's part of
going
the
all out through a wall.
The mix is off.
But
the mix is off.
It's a collection of all of the above for
I
sure.
agree.
So
do any of those guys come across as selfish?
I don't know if it's selfish necessarily,
Really?
but like, they don't come across as ultimate team playoff leader guys. I'll say that. And that's what you would.
that's an
the opposite.
understatement.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
Like, when you look at that Florida team and you look at them,
not be mean.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a nice way to
yeah,
say
like
it.
I don't know if it's selfish, but they just don't feel like.
They give a shit about their teammates and winning.
I think they probably care a lot, just not nearly as much as.
It just looks like they're. It's not soft. It just looks like they're easily overwhelmed.
I think it is
because when
soft, to be
things,
fair. Yeah,
when it does not take much to get the floodgates wide open on that team when things start to go south and a
Between their
big
ears.
opportunity.
and that's what Berube said post game. He's like, the caliber of player here is not a problem. It's between our ears is the issue. We have 2 home games that are huge with great opportunities to either take a commanding lead in a series or put a team away. And those are your 2 worst games you might have played in 6 months. You get shelled in both of them. That's between the ears. That's not a lack of talent. It's not a roster construct issue. That's a between the ears issue.
And again, I'm going to take the
So
easy
you can call
road.
that selfish. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, and I was just going to say also, it's I think that mix is way off now after watching it. They looked good, and then when the pressure came on again, they were terrible.
So
like, terrible.
I agree, and I think it's like similar to what we've seen in 9 years, but I think they're closer than they've been in a weird way because I like their blue line a lot more for the
Marchand
playoffs.
said the same thing, and yes, they're built differently, but I still. So Marner leaves.
Yeah, like so.
Who's your stud goaltender? Is it Stolarz? He had a great year. I don't know. Is it? You hope. And okay, Marner's gone, so it's not the same guys. Well, yes, Nylander's the best of that group. I think in the playoffs, but it's still not impressive. Where's he on the list of Conn Smythe winners?
Because in there as
Nowhere?
Well, he's never through the second round.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
I get it, man. He's only great because you're comparing him to Marner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when is Matt? Oh, he's probably hurt. Well, Christ,
Again.
when's that going to end? Like,
it is. It's such a team game, and when you're part of a winner, like right now, anyone that's a Florida Panther, you're a dog. You know how to win, right? You're part of this culture and all of that. And when you're part of a loser, so you a bunch of soft babies. Morgan Riley deserves a share of that as well. He's been there a long time.
Tough year.
And yeah, it's 2 playoff series wins in 9 years. 0 for 6 in game 7s. 0 for 7 in winner take. We saw what their record was with
0 for 8 now.
The ability to punch somebody out in a eliminate
games.
your opponent type of a game. They just don't seem to have it. And it doesn't make all of them bad players or the whole thing, but and the thing about it is with guaranteed contracts, sometimes they haven't really been in a position to do anything. You're kind of pot committed with Matthews and Nylander and all of that. All right, Marner, you're getting his money back. He's going to leave. It's 100 points in the regular season that you may care about, potentially. I'll ask you this. Do you bring back John Tavares?
Depends on the cost.
Yeah, I'd bring him back as long as the money's not crazy and the term's not crazy. And slot him as your 3C because he's a really good third line center.
And that's easy for us to say.
Yeah,
because
we don't know.
But if you feel like
he's part of the
$3 million,
I don't think he's a problem.
Yeah, like I'll say, but does he bring you closer to where you want to be? You've seen him in these scenarios. He's going to be another 1, 2, 3 years older.
Old is he?
I don't know, 3 something, maybe a little more. I see what you're saying. I would bring him back because I don't think you can,
because there's two ways to
find a replacement for him.
I don't think I want to find a replacement. And sorry, jumping, but I'm probably saying what you're going to say. I'd let him. I'm not afraid of letting him go either. It better be one hell of a deal.
Is a good value? Does it make? Is it helping us fix what's wrong with us? If you're bringing back another guy, this is not where we want to be. The ultimate thing. I'll just finish. The ultimate. We know we're broken. We need to be fixed. Yeah, but it's a good. Well, we'll bring him back. Well, that value deal's great, but does
that would be the question? Is those guys got to know in the room who's important and what keeps. I don't. When you watch this and these results, I don't think the room is great to begin with, because I just said it. I think there's a bunch of leadership guys that don't give a shit how the other guys do, really. Yes, and that's overstating it and being a bit harsh. I'm sure they care to a certain extent, but I don't think that any of them, maybe Tavares would be the one guy that I would think out of those 4 guys you always talk about, Tavares, Marner, Matthews, and Nylander. Which one of those is up? Which one of those guys is up at 3 a.m. stressed out about how the guy in the 4th line's doing?
I would bring him back, and I would be more focused about what you're replacing Marner with, because I don't think they're like totally wrong and flawed. Like, I think if they had Carolina's bracket, they could be in the Final Four. I think they could beat Washington. I think they could beat New Jersey. It just so happens every year they run into Tampa, Florida. This doesn't need a massive overhaul. I think something as simple as Sam Bennett in for Marner changes how you feel about this group. And if you can slot Tavares as your 3rd line center, Bennett as your 2, and Matthews as your 1, you might have won this series. Like, it's that close, right? You just need 1 or 2 more playoff dogs. They're not awful. Like, you could probably make a really sound case. They're the 4th to 6th best team in this league. Don't start throwing everything away. Marner, absolutely, it's time to make a decision. He's out of here. But you need to go bring in a dog that thrives this time of year. And Sam Bennett just happens to be from Ontario and is a UFA this summer. And he's not going to cost as much as Marner. Just isn't.
Well, he's going to have nowhere near the points.
Correct. But he will in the playoffs.
Best case, he will have half of the points.
But he has more in the playoffs. This is my whole point. We talked about it last week.
Will he there?
Yes,
he does.
Absolutely.
He does in Florida.
He does everywhere. He had more points in the playoffs in Calgary.
But I know your rant. Just slow down for a sec. He's on a very special team in Florida. Is he going to what you're saying? He's going to replicate that in Toronto with everything else that you've seen. We're talking about 2 very ends of the spectrum. Culture, champions, know how to win.
Did Sam perform and put up
nailing
points
jello on a wall?
Here? Yeah, he did.
Well, again,
he was
compared to what was around him, he was the best, and the rest was.
So that's the type of guy they should be looking for.
I don't disagree. If you think he's going to go in there, I would caution a little bit.
It's not about points for me in the playoffs with him. It's about the style of player that can set the tone in a series. That's what Sam Bennett has and what the Leafs don't have. I'm not worried about his point total. And like, you're right. You are going to have, a 50-point drop from Marner to Bennett. Most of the last 5 years, it's been about that. That's how much more Marner gives you in the regular season. So are you ready to shave off 4 to 8 points in the standings in the regular season? Yeah, you might not have as easy a path. You don't win the division, but I like you way more in a 7-game series with Sam Bennett than Mitch Marner.
Is there any part of you that not feels, but is there maybe undue criticism or too much being thrown at Marner? Because it feels like, to your point, Nylander skates a bit. Matthews, he must be hurt. It kind of gets away with
too much history of it.
Decades.
And I want to be a Leaf and I love it here. And I want to. Well, you didn't, and you're holding the Leafs up. You're holding them hostage when they've got a trade to make, and you won't take. No, I don't feel anything for it. No, that's him. I don't at all. And I don't think, then that doesn't mean that Matthews and Nylander and Tavares shouldn't get 2 barrels either. But I think Marner's, track record puts him in the firing squad, right? Like,
yeah, and he's due to make a lot of money, guys. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like Matthew Nyes is going to be an offer sheet threat if they don't have him signed by July. And they know what that number is going to look like because you can look at the compensation chart and see where it goes from a first to 2 firsts to 4 firsts, where it's just a second and a third, a first and a third. Like, you can understand the band where he's going to get paid because of how good he is. You got to get him under contract. You got to find someone like Bennett to come in and play 2C. And like, you can't do that. Mitch Marner becomes a luxury. They already have fancy wingers.
Oh, there's no, yeah. I mean, Marner wants the big dough. And they can't bring it. There's many reasons.
But that's the problem with the Marner guy is that I want to be paid like I'm a top 5, top 10 guy in the NHL, and then you don't perform and when we need you. Like,
yeah, in the regular season, he has been that guy. He just hasn't in the playoffs.
I don't want you.
3 shots in the final 5 games of the series. Was a -5 in the 4 Panther victories.
Just, hey? At least he didn't melt down again in an elimination game. Screaming at the bench.
Boy, that's a tough one.
It's a tough
2 years in a row. Remember last
look.
year it's he and Matthews and Nylander all caddy on the bench.
But that's my point about it all, is that you might be right. So, and it's awesome that they played Florida, because I don't think they're certainly talented, but I don't know that they're more talented than the Leafs. But what do they have?
Yeah, it's a pedigree of winners.
They have a pedigree. They have a culture.
And it's a style of play.
They don't have a bunch of guys bitching and moaning and worrying. And I don't know.
You know,
a lot of those top guys look like, I said it to you, they don't look like guys that are concerned with the betterment of the team.
They don't look like win at all cost guys, right?
You think
at any cost, at any price, I'll do.
Barkov gives a shit if he gets a point?
Yeah.
No.
But do you think he cares if he does? Like, you don't question. So everyone's like, wow, just because you didn't. No. You can watch a game and understand who cares. You can see it in their play and their effort.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys don't.
It's not in the same neighborhood as Florida. That's for sure.
Because you look at a guy like Sam Reinhart, and I don't know what you think of him. If he were in Toronto, would he be one of those guys, probably a little soft and can't step up?
Maybe, yeah.
He's a great regular season performer. His numbers don't hold up in the playoffs to the same extent of his regular season numbers, but he's part of that. He's part of that group, and it works.
Do they feel like a band of brothers in Toronto?
No.
And do they in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess that's
in Tampa when they won.
Yes.
In Chicago when they won.
Yes.
And in LA when they won.
Yes.
Pittsburgh. Like,
yes.
Detroit going
yeah.
away. Like,
and you know what? This is where we were at with Washington before they won. And they only got one, but it's like, it is so hard to win this bleeping trophy. And you're going to have to go up against a team like Florida that is so battle tested. And then if you lose, it's like, yeah, well, you guys are losers. It's like they might have the third best team in the league. They really might. It is more better than Florida. Like, I don't know if did they beat Carolina in a series? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not. But I think they could be in Carolina's spot. I think they beat Washington, New Jersey. Like, I don't know. Could they have won that series with a healthy Stellaris? Yeah, they probably could have. But sure didn't look good in games 5 and 7. You could have used him in game 3 when you're up 2-0, and he could have barred the door to give you a 3-0 series lead. He was hurt.
Because game 3 was the overtime Marchand goal, was it not?
Game 3, they're up 2-0, up 2-0 in the series.
You were a goal away from 3-0. Yeah. Speaking of Marchand, 5-0 in playoff series against Toronto.
Just owns
all 5 went to game 7s.
And so if you're Treliving and you've got all of a sudden this theoretical $12 to $14 million of Marner money, like, would you chase Marchand?
And Bennett.
And because obviously he has to want to go there. That's a totally separate thing. But would you put a lot of effort behind going to get that guy? Because they wanted Tanev as much as a lot of other teams. They just said, look, we'll give him 1,000,000 years. We know he's going to be broken. We'll just LTIR him.
Yeah.
Maybe they do the same thing with Marchand. We're like, what's the AAV you want? We'll give you more years than anyone else, and we'll just put you on Robota Island when you're broke.
Marchand, 8 points in the 7 games. Not a bad little ad. I guess the other thing is too, and it was, if you have any pride, if you're a Leaf fan or whatever, the sympathy tour that the Panthers went on post game, and even the next day, boy, I feel for these players. It's so tough in Toronto. It's so hard. You know, they're a good team. These guys, they try really hard. I feel bad.
It was different this year. It was a different group. Yeah.
If I were Treliving or Shanahan, I'd walk in there and upset the table. Just shut the fuck up about how hard it is for us.
I'd be downloading.
Take your win and get out of here. Jeez, have Paul Maurice. Oh, yeah, hey, there's nothing to be upset about over there. That's a good team.
We just got a couple bounces. That's the only difference.
This is making it worse, Paul. I know you're trying to help, but you're not helping. Dig up. Stupid. I think we have the Maurice.
None of you are going to listen to me on this, but I would caution you from applying or assigning you guys are going to do it anyway. Those games are so tight. The emotion, the build up to the games, right? Like when we score the first goal, we own the first 10 minutes of the first period. They own the second 10 minutes. That's it. Both teams were. If you flip it, you'd say, "Oh, they came out right." Well, we came out right. They found the answer to come back at us. That's the truth, right? We scored a goal, and then we got those two, and it's just a puck to the net. It's not. It's so much closer than you think, but you're going to kill these guys, and they don't deserve it. That's 7 games, and we played well. I didn't like our first period in game 1. We played well in the 2 losses.
And I don't think what he's saying is wrong, but it's just you can't watch 9 years of this and not think there's something deeper.
Yeah, so in
the DNA of this Toronto.
Yeah, in this seven games under a microscope. Okay, yeah, it was close, but they did lose a combined 12 goals to 2 on home ice.
Their last 2 home games.
In their last 2 home games, and it's been 9 years. So, yeah.
Yep. And there is risk that you throw out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak, and Marner goes on to have great success. You just haven't seen it yet.
Sam Bennett wasn't going to have the same success here as he's had in Florida. It's a different comparable.
Yeah, I think he'll do great.
I think there's a lot of those players. Teams will look back and be, oh, well, they had this guy. What were they? It was the same with Kessel, right? Kessel kind of goes, well, yeah, is in a different role around a team that's got a lot of very good players as well. 2 cups?
They got to change the mix.
Because you won in Vegas too.
Close or not, you still have to change the mix.
And I don't know. Like this is just
under what circumstance do you bring Marner back?
You don't. It's done. You're not
done.
But I don't even think it's the type of player necessarily. There's just times when it's so obvious that for a player at a time in a market, a change of scenery is going to be best. And we knew that about Bennett here, and we know that's going to happen with Marner now. And you probably felt the same way about Jack Eichel when he and Buffalo were fighting against the owner and player and agent, yelling at each other like, "Get this guy out of here! He's going to be great somewhere else."
Yeah.
No one was surprised he was great in Vegas.
It's not that type of player. It's that human.
Yeah,
in that city right now for that situation. Team, they just can't do it.
Yeah, it's the 9 years, it's the market, it's the president, it's all the history. He's got to go.
Yeah,
and he'll probably be fine in his next stop. Should it be Calgary?
I wonder what the appetite, because we were talking with Dregs about Chicago and maybe how its preferred destination status is maybe taking a hit.
Mm-hmm.
For Toronto, is there any part of that, even for guys that are from Ontario? Is it still
I think
I really want to go there.
No, because it's like Montreal. There are certain guys that really do want to go there and play for the hometown team.
I think you'd like to be part of a solution, but you understand that you're going to a place that's
it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
There's no way it's on number 1 on the list. No way.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're a Toronto guy and you're in your late 30s and you want to be close to home, I'm sure it's great. And maybe you could be part of it because that's what Thornton and Simmons and Marlowe.
I'm aware. That's what I'm saying. I'm just wondering if it's changed.
No, I think it's the same because it's the same shit. They're still.
How is it the same?
Because they're still losing.
So why? What I'm saying is, why are you going there? You seem to be as far away as you have been for any of the 9 years. You've won 2 playoff series in the. Huh?
I don't think they're farther away. I think they're closer.
They're as far away. They're not closer.
Well, so once in the last 8 years, they won a round. This was one of them. And I think you can look at what they've built on the blue line and say that's a better blue line for the playoffs. I like the 2 young goalies they've got. The cap's suddenly growing.
We're splitting hairs because
I don't think it's less appetizing than it was 3-4 years ago at all. Especially if Marner's out, there's going to be some cultural shift here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was a time when the GM of the team could go to July 1st and have a bit of a pick of a litter of guys that wanted to be there. I don't know how long that list is.
They haven't really. The only guys they've got deals on are the really old guys.
Which says something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For someone like Austin Matthews, are you loving life there? You're not from there, are you? Is this Could you entertain playing somewhere else? Nylander, are you dyed in the wool Toronto
Well,
guy,
if-
or
if
could you play somewhere
Matthews
else?
was a dyed in the wool Toronto Maple Leaf, he'd have signed the max term.
Willie did. Nylander signed the big term. And I think Austin's also just being smart about making more money. Like jump in every 3-4 years when the cap's going up rather than lock in for 8.
I also think too.
But if he wants to leave, like that guy's gone in a heartbeat. Like it's that simple. I think they want to win there because they know how powerful it would be. But
I think they're comfortable, and I don't think they need to be comfortable. And I don't think like
you'd like them to be more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think they will be because I think there's change coming here. Like,
how much can there be?
Well, I think Shanahan and Marner's a good start.
Like obviously Marner is out, and you can let Tavares go. But I think it was Luke Fox or somebody. You've got like David Kampf has got 2 more years. Domi's got 3 more years. They've got some depth guys who have got, they're not making big money, but they've got contracts moving forward. It's Marner, you've rebuilt your back end. Carlo comes in with term, and that's not a bad thing.
No, it's great. It's good money. He's big, he's physical, he's a playoff type guy. You look at Tanev, Carlo, McCabe, OEL.
Right.
Those are guys that like this time of year are better than the decors they've had.
But if you're going to make change, on a value deal, if Tavares is going to give you that value deal, then he's coming back. You're talking about Marner, and
I think we don't know what the makeup of the group is.
Yeah.
And we don't, right? We're sitting here in Marteloup. We're not going to know. Treliving needs to know. Shanahan's change, sure, but what's Shanahan's interaction on a daily basis?
Don't know.
I don't think he lives in Toronto, so I don't think he's around.
He's just connected to putting this group of players together.
Yeah, and because it's time to tear this core down, it's the Shanna plan.
I don't think it has an on-ice
Harley
impact for the
Hotchkiss
next
owned
year.
the team. We loved Harley, but it's not a day-to-day. I think the biggest thing is less about who leaves and who comes in.
Agreed, 100%. I don't think you need to replace 5 guys here. You just need a couple guys that set a different tone in the playoffs. And that's why I think Bennett's going to be so attractive to like 20 teams this summer.
You can't wait for the playoffs for that guy to set a tone. That guy's
no,
and
he doesn't not set a tone in the regular season
and play. And I think there needs to be. I'm not calling for a dismantling of the Leafs because I don't. You're right; they're highly talented. Like and you can mismanage that very easily by thinking we're going in a completely different direction. But you have to have enough of a change for the leadership group and the whole core of guys to go,
and so it might be as simple as a Marchand type because there's your leader.
Berube will have the biggest say.
It's year 1 of a new coach. It's year 2 of a new GM, and you're going to enter year 1 post core 4.
Can you imagine, like, under what circumstances is Marchand signing there after he's beat them like a dog for a decade and just came out and talked about how shitty it is to play there for those guys,
or just how high the pressure is? Yeah.
Well, same.
But look, I mean, if you just want to, if everyone's offering Brad Marchand, who's not young, 3-year deals, and you offer him 5, I mean, that might be it. So they got Tanev.
The nice contract. He'll make some more money, but they got 2 massive contracts in Marner and Tavares coming off. They're going to have plenty of cap space.
Cap's going up. So between Tavares, cap growth, and Marner, you're looking at about $30 million. Like if you want to go give Sam Bennett way too much money, you can do it. I mean, I don't know that he's going to say yes or not. I don't know with Marchand or not, but to all of our points, there has to be a change in the DNA. It can't be window dressing. You need to bring someone in that changes the way leadership works in that room. And then I don't know that they're far away. I really don't.
It's complicated, but is there, under any circumstance, is there a Matthews trade to be made?
If he wants to leave, it's the only way it happens.
Which, again, let's just for the sake of this to push it forward a little bit.
Take 2 seconds to trade Austin.
Yeah, if he wants to leave, he's gone. It's done. I don't think he wants to, or he'd be gone.
Okay, so but I'm saying take that. He's amenable to a trade. How do you make yourself better by taking out one of the best goal scorers?
I don't think you do because no one else. You can't find number 1 centers. That's what we talk about all the time here.
No.
So he's staying. Nylander's in. Like you're pot committed to at least those 2 guys.
Yeah, and like that, those are the 2 guys I'd like to be pot committed with out of the 4, because Austin Matthews, when he's right, is one of the top 2-3 finishers in the sport.
It's an amazing study to watch that game the other night because everyone knew. You're watching at home, you're in the building, you're on the Leafs bench, you're on the Panthers bench. When it goes 1-0 to 2-0, It's like, oh boy, you better get this next goal. 3-0. This is over.
And then they get 3-1,
over-
and you're like, okay. And
There's
then
over half the game left. It's like, no, this is over.
Well, and Maurice can say whatever, and maybe they did have a good second half of the first 10 minutes of a game 7.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they had to be hiding the smirks on the bench. It's like, we're doing it to them again.
Mhm.
They're shitting their pants again in front of their home team.
They've really only lost to 2 bad teams in the 9 years, but it just proves that they haven't
Yeah, but you
really
don't
been
play-
able to become that elite team. Like, I think the Leafs have been a top 10 team for the last decade. They've never been able to say we're one of the best 4 or 5 on the planet, because when it gets into a 7-game series, that's where they run into the Tampa, Boston, Floridas, where you have this. Each of those teams have had a core of winners that are going to the Hall of Fame. With Boston, it's Chara and Bergeron and Krejci.
well, that's every that's a Stanley Cup winning team.
No, and so my point is like they have not been able to get to that hollowed ground where you're like, they're elite.
Hallowed.
Thank you. It's probably not
They're
hallowed.
feeling hollowed right now. They
They're
were
very-
hollowed out the other night for sure. You want to be compared to the greats, not just individually, but as a team. And we have this graphic here talking about the Leafs against another, how they compare against another. Again, they're Stanley Cup champions, and then there's the greats. Since the 05 lockout, playoff series wins: Buffalo 4, Toronto 2. Sabres haven't made the postseason in 14 years.
Ooh.
So you take a decade and a half off, and I'm still ahead of you there. Oof. Jeez.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, I've been in a coma for 15 years. How's it been going? Oh my God.
I mean, credit to Mike Bunt on doing the work here. We trust Mike Bunt's numbers.
Attaboy Bunster.
But that is
Ooh-wee.
That's something.
so that's not 9 years. We're pushing, and maybe it's unfair. I don't know.
Why
Is it?
I
unfair?
don't think it's unfair.
They're the biggest team. They've got the most money to
You
spend.
don't
They're the
get to
richest team in
strut-
the
yeah,
league.
you don't
Yeah.
get to strut around with the big swing and like, no, you want to be.
I'm trying to think Flames series wins since then. So you'd have 14-50 and you'd have 22 where you had Battle of Alberta.
Well, did you beat Anaheim in that game?
No, they
Oh, you didn't win that one.
Not quite.
Okay.
We were trying.
Yeah, I know you were. Were you? Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of this that's going on.
the
Finding.
memes are meming. I got about 1,000 more.
I
for
figured you might,
Yeah.
which is why I didn't want to go too deep. I figured.
No,
you
I knew
probably
you'd
did.
have this one. That was an instant hit on the weekend.
Yeah, I threw that one in.
And so how's our boy Tree feeling?
I think Tree is. You know what? Here's the thing. He knows what he's got.
He's
there.
got clarity.
He knows, and
I
that's
think he's
his
got his
biggest
coach
gift.
too, right?
That's the biggest gift he's got is expiring contracts and clarity.
Yeah.
Where it's not going to be, oh, you can't let Marner go. No, everyone's on. You're letting Marner go,
Well, I mean, if you had a clarity a year ago,
And-
you could have traded him for something. But yeah, I hear you.
right?
You
But
brought that up. Boy, that was a tough spot.
And it's
for
only a
him.
year in. It's a tough spot.
yeah,
for
even if you wanted to, that's a tough one to pull off, depending on what the return is, I guess. But even if you were going to make it, we're getting about a 50-point guy back, but we believe come playoff time he's going to be.
It's gonna be
They'd
tough.
crucify the guy. He probably to a fault puts stock in character, toughness, playing in the
7-game
playoffs,
series.
that whole thing.
Totally.
He loves those guys.
If he's going to err, he's erring on the side of grit.
so
always.
that's
Succulent.
yeah, that's
But
what it will be. The whole Bennett thing, and I've seen in our chat people say, "Oh, he screwed Bennett. Bennett's never going to sign there." I don't
think Bennett cares about that.
Treliving drafted him. Treliving loved Bennett. He hated to trade him. Obviously, all of that sort of
Treliving's
thing.
the
And I
Change
don't,
of scenery thing we talked about.
Yeah,
Everyone knew.
People want to. Yeah.
the que-
It would be interesting, and we could do it because we'll have time, Dean.
A redraft?
what's
But
that?
I'm probably
man?
not going to because it also would be like go deep into this Leafs things. Everyone's you got to sign Knives. Okay, we got to sign Knives. What's going to take to sign Knives?
A lot. 'Cause he's
Okay,
a perfect
so
off
if you
sheet.
let him get offer sheeted,
Mhm.
and get those assets in return,
Yeah.
No, you
and
can't.
have that money to
Yeah.
go spend again, and you're already going like
Now you're in a retool of sorts. So here's the thing.
no. But if you think you can get Bennett and Marchand,
Yeah.
and Nyes is leaving, now you've got more assets to work with, and you've got the cap space.
I don't think
Chess,
he needs to lose
chess,
nine.
not
checkers.
checkers.
Yeah, I know.
Dean.
I think
There's a lot of chess there.
I don't know where I sit with Tavares because you could, like you say, value deal, and it would make a lot of sense.
You don't know if
But
there's a
I
value
just-
deal.
I don't
You
know.
don't know that there's
No.
a value.
But I think what you do if you're Treliving is you're like, here are parameters. The term doesn't get beyond this. The money doesn't get beyond this. And if he really wants to be here, he'll take it. And if he doesn't, we move along.
The other thing we are 100% underestimating is that it is Toronto, it is Canada, and we're talking about Bennett and Marchand. And guess what? It's way cheaper to stay in Florida.
Yeah, you have to overpay, no question. Yeah.
But you have to overpay a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Like
And
2 to
you're
3
not-
million more. Yeah.
You're not leaving a shit show in Florida. You're leaving an unbelievable
Yeah.
scenario.
Oh, so I'm
If
going
you're
to-
Sam Bennett, you're living next to your pal Matthew Kachuk. You're right by the beach. Your significant others love it there. You're going to potentially
like
a
it's-
third
That's
consecutive
the
Stanley
thing.
Cup final.
The agent's phoning you. They're going, wait, what?
Is this Treliving on my phone?
But the only reason we're talking about it is it's not done yet.
Hello?
Yes, you should phone him AI and it'll do a translation to Treliving.
Hi, Brad. What's happening? Yeah, it's July 1st. Yeah, what? Sam? It's Treliving. I know. Crazy. You know what? Send us a proposal.
Yeah, well, look at it.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's no, nothing's been done. Yeah, he loves Toronto, loves that pressure and all that. The fans and
Thrives
the media.
on it.
He's built for that for sure. Well, I mean, it's a couple cups in a row in Florida. Yeah, but yeah, weather's great. Yeah, big pool in the backyard. and
Almost
the
too hot this time.
Ferrari in the garage. Yeah, 20. Yeah, all year round Ferrari. I wouldn't say, he really likes it here in Florida. Let's call it that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've got you'll fax that over then. Okay, great. Yeah. We'll get back to you fairly quick. I think probably, Brad. Yeah. We'll probably have an answer for you pretty quick there. Appreciate the call. Bye. Yeah, he's drinking again or something. I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, look, like we saw this play out exactly a year ago with one of their best players. And Sam Reinhart said, I've been in a spot where winning wasn't there. I am here and I love it here. And I'm going to leave some money on the table.
Well, and does
How
Marchand
much
fall into that? Because it was not great in Boston when he left there. Does he want to move again?
The finals, I don't see these guys wanting to leave at all. Now,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean
You're
that
looking at
Florida wants to
dynasty
keep them.
here if they yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe I haven't looked at Florida's cap space and what they can accomplish.
Ekblad's up this summer, but if you wanted to prioritize Bennett and Marchand, I'd understand. Like Forsling and Seth Jones are all of a sudden you don't necessarily need Ekblad as much as you used to. He's been good, not superstar there.
You've got
I think
Bobrovsky
you'd have
at
a hard-
$10 million for one more year. And I was thinking about this morning. It's for a guy, awful contract on day one, was a bad contract for a good chunk of, how everyone does these worst
6
contracts
years.
in the league. Well, he was at or near the top.
I
for
don't even
so
know if it was
long.
bad at the start. He just played so poorly early because he was the only guy that's got 2 Vezines in the league
but
when
it was,
he signed it.
But it was $10 million for 10.
It's a lot of money, but he was the top goalie in the league at the time. But he then just turned into
I
a
don't know
pumpkin
what
for
your
3-4
art-
years.
Yeah, but which
So
makes
it
it,
made
a
it
bad
an awful
contract.
contract. No, but you said it was bad from day one. It took a while for it to be bad.
Okay,
but it
day
was
2.
awful.
Jeez, you love to argue. Anyway,
So it wasn't a good contract for the first 4 years.
It was a nightmare, and then he was
Yes,
unreal.
So I
in the
think
playoffs
that's
2
what he
years
was
ago.
trying to say.
Yeah.
Day one was fine.
I'm just
but
saying this
after that-
is not the Bobrovsky that you had for the first good chunk of that contract.
Right, when you had Uyghur
now-
and Huberdeau on that team. Yeah.
They've got 10 playoff round wins in their last 4 years. They are as close to a dynasty as you're going to. I mean, I guess, the
One more
Lightning.
series to see, yeah. If they can get to the final, that's 3 years in a row. That's incredible. That's really hard to do. Like, I think Pittsburgh was the last team to do that in the late double O's. I'm
And they
correct.
might be trouble for Carolina. Just the way they play. I like Carolina's
trouble
team.
for
You
everyone,
think
but-
it's got to be Carolina. Well, the last time Carolina got up against a tough squad, they lost.
Are you going to watch Carolina finally? Is it,
I am.
Tonight, if you
Not
want
a
to
lot, but I'm going to have
is it tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
I'm more intrigued about them against Florida than I was with Washington or Jersey. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too.
And the stakes are higher, but It's also the time of year where there's a bit of fatigue around teams. I think everyone's excited to watch Carolina in the playoffs now.
I'm
It's finally
excited to watch
time.
Kachuk score and just skate off the ice. Let's go.
They did have the it's not a sweep 2
Right.
years ago.
It's not
if
a
you
sweep.
remember.
Yeah, that's right.
And it wasn't a sweep, but it
It
was.
was
kind of
actually was a sweep. It wasn't, but it was.
a little over a week ago, whatever it was, we came in here and we were talking about the hockey gods,
Mm.
the Winnipeg Jets, hockey gods,
Yeah.
found a way, ranting it against the Avalanche, hockey gods.
Yeah.
Hockey gods were not as nice this weekend as they really gave it to the Leafs, as we've elaborated on, and then you feel terrible. But Mark Scheifele in the
Oh,
box
God.
for the overtime and series winning goal.
I had
After scoring the opener and knowing that felt like a hockey gods moment.
Jets out. They lose Morrissey again in a must-win game, which is not easy. They didn't win a game on the road the entire playoff. In the past 3 years, they are 1-10 on the road and have been outscored 48-20 in the process.
1-10 on the road, 48-20. So that's almost 5 against a game and 2-4.
So maybe a different conversation. Maybe it's similar to the one we just had with the Leafs and Nucleus and Culture and Flawed and blah, blah, blah. Where do you see the Jets? The road thing is
the road thing is
undeniable.
concerning. Hellebuck hasn't done what he's supposed to do, which is the exact opposite of what Toronto's do. No, it's the same thing as what
Yeah.
Toronto's do. That's
Sure, we're going there,
but I
okay.
would say I don't feel as concerned about the culture in Winnipeg because they have guys staying in Winnipeg.
Yeah, they're choosing to. And we'll
Which
see what
is-
Nikolai Ehlers does because he's up. But Neil Pionk just re-upped. He's played a big role for them on the blue line last few years.
So their
And
culture
I
might
don't
be
know
fine, but their
that-
talent might not be.
Did anyone look at them and say, "Oh, well, they won the President's Trophy. Clearly, they're favorites to win the
No.
cup"? You're like, no. It's a nice regular season, but I think push comes to shove at full health. You were going to pick Dallas and Colorado ahead of them coming out of that division, just
But
because those are they've got like who is the best player on the Jets? Like it's probably the goalie who hasn't been good in the
Well,
playoffs. It's just tough to believe
so.
that
Is it
they're a contender versus just a good team.
is it just who they stack up against and the way the playoffs are structured in
I think they're
today's day and age?
I think they're the third best team in the division.
I just don't know how can you be the President's Trophy winner and then lose in round 2 and everybody just kind of
because it's
Because
Winnipeg.
that's what happens every year. I don't know.
Yeah.
but is that
President-
the mentality you have if you're running that team, or if
I
you're,
think the problem the Jets have is that they're in Winnipeg. So the Leafs we just discussed for way too long. Well, guess what? It might not be number 1 on the list, but it's not Winnipeg on the list
Oh,
of
hell yeah.
teams,
It's
right?
the-
Like,
it's the other end
so,
of the spectrum.
oh, great. We're losing Ehlers and we can save some money. Who the f is going there? Who's going?
Well, I remember this.
You
is a
have
team-
to build from within. This is a it sounds chintzy. I won't even say it. But
It's draft and development. It's the only way. they can-
yes.
But I think it's a valuable experience piece for them this year.
Hellebuck's got to be there.
Hellebuck was much better at the end, but still does not look like the best goalie in the league in the playoffs. So, but you could convince me he made strides. in
what
the
do you do
second
there?
round.
There's nothing you
You
can
No,
can't
do.
you're
do
locked in. You
anything.
can't.
You're
You're married
locked
to him.
into
You just have to
and
hope.
that's the thing with
You're
this
married to
team, though. You have to get locked into these guys and be
Or you
married
lose
to them because you can't turn them over and have other people come in.
Now, look, they lose Morrissey. Scheifele was hurt for a while. That's the type of stuff that happens in the playoffs. But I just don't know how you're going to look at that roster ever and say, yeah, I'm going to pick that over Rantanen, all those kids in Ottinger. I'm going to pick that over Colorado.
Well,
Scott
they have
McKinnon
to-
and McCarr. Like, I think they're a really good team. They're not an elite team.
Well,
They won the President's Trophy.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters much, to be fair. I mean, we're just talking about how different regular season and
Right,
the
but you
playoffs
said,
are. Like,
you,
they've
said,
been underdogs against the Stars. They weren't favored.
you said they aren't an elite team. They had the best record in the
I
regular
didn't think
season.
Washington was a contender either. They won the East. You knew Florida
It's because
beat
you're
them.
very smart.
No,
because you're
it's
very
all of
wise.
us felt that way. No one thought Washington was a wagon. If you had Washington against Florida, you'd be like, Florida finished 3rd, but they don't give a shit. They understand what it takes in the playoffs. They're not worried about the 82-game dress rehearsal.
I think
Edmonton
that
wasn't worried about the 82-game dress rehearsal.
you're splitting hairs here. Edmonton. Winnipeg is a perennial playoff team. So is Carolina. They haven't won F all either. So
yeah, if they're in Carolina's
so
division,
are they
they're probably
good
left.
or are
still,
they
yeah.
shitty? I don't know. That's what Winnipeg is to me. They're Carolina. They can make the playoffs and they can play really good and they look awesome and lose. And you're like, well, I don't know. That's kind of what
They could really use their goalie to play better.
If the
Yeah,
goaltender
and
isn't making a difference, they don't have they're not winning the presidents with the goalie playing the way he did in the playoffs.
100%. He's their MVP. He's going to get Hart votes, and he was no good in the playoffs. And it's not like it's Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill has had 2 incredible playoffs, and then this year the numbers are brutal. And that's a one-off. This is the 3rd playoffs in a row for
Aiden
Connor
Hill
Hellebuyck
wouldn't
where
be
he's
in the
looked no
NHL
good.
if he didn't have that hot run and win the cup. Like, I don't mean, maybe he'd be in the NHL. But
2 years of crazy good numbers and not this year. My point is that Hellebuyck has 3 years in a row where he's looked really bad in the playoffs. And how do you say, look at these guys, they're going to win the cup when it's
the only way they
have to
win the
prove
cup
it.
is, well, Hellebuck's got to be way better, and they have to draft someone that makes a difference at a young age.
they've done a good job of drafting and development. But yeah.
Like, they
Perfetti
need-
had a good playoff. He's
I like him,
23.
Yeah. Sandberg's coming on the back end. He's a nice player.
Adam Lowry's 32 years old already.
He's all boy now.
When did he turn 32?
Doesn't he feel like he's 26?
What the hell's going on there? Yeah, I don't know what you do with Ehlers. He's a good player.
From money.
He is 29. He is injured a lot.
He flies, but he's hurt a lot.
Yeah.
He's
But the
from-
problem is that if you, and it'll be up to Ehlers, he can leave it, right?
it's totally in his court.
It's in his court if he wants to stay. I don't know that you can overpay him to keep him. But what do you do with the cap space?
Yeah, you're not going to bring anyone on.
Oh, yeah. I think if he's at all willing to stay, you
You have to
probably
be.
go after, you get it done if you can.
If they're
But then-
shopping in the free agency aisles, they're in the like Nino Niederreiter or Vlad Nemesnikov. Like, it is not sexy, the type of guys that'll go there, right?
And they don't need that, I don't think.
No, they don't need.
They've got that.
They could use good players.
This is what I mean, is if
Yeah.
you can't go buy Ehlers in free agency, you can get role players. That's the only free agent moves you can make there.
Yeah.
Like, you're not bringing in Ekblad to Florida, you know what I, or from Florida.
No.
Well, it was a good run.
But and look, I don't want to, like, to get back to it. It's like Washington and Winnipeg never really felt like cup threats so much as good teams, didn't they? First
Yeah.
time for a lot of those Washington guys. Winnipeg, you got to prove you can do it in the postseason. Like, you should have lost to St. Louis in round 1, a wild card team, if not for the hockey gods.
Yeah, so I guess the question then is, how and why were they so good in the regular season? They
Because got
tore out of the
depth and
gate.
The goaltender was good. That's why.
Different season.
I like how they play. They just don't. Who's the difference maker? Your goaltender. Who wasn't the difference
Yeah.
maker? Your goaltender. So then you lose.
Yeah. Again, like Flames won the West one year here with a group that
Like Pitt.
wasn't close to being a couple.
No. Dean's mad because he wants his team to be.
No, I don't. It's because the point being, it's what do you do? Obviously, and what
You run it
trumps
back.
all of it is who's going to come.
Yeah, no one's going to come. Can you keep Ehlers?
'Cause you
is the
could have a
question.
plan.
It's a very. We just said the word clarity for Treliving. I think. I don't think Chanel has ever not had clarity. You have to build
Shovel
from.
day off, yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Chanel. Sorry, Shovel Day Off has never had. It's built from within.
And look, 2 years ago that we were looking at Hellebuck's a free agent, Scheifele's a free agent, Pionk's a free agent, Ehlers is a free agent. 3 of the 4 signed against all odds.
Your only stab at adding difference makers is at the trade deadline. If you feel like you should do that.
And as a
Right?
draft
Like,
and development team, that's
you-
dangerous, right?
Yeah, like exactly. As a drafter, you're like, okay, am I going to throw in the towel on these young kids to bring in this guy who I think might be a difference maker? And that guy might go, I don't like the situation I'm in. We're not making the playoffs on this team. I need a playoff run. So yes, I will agree to a trade to Winnipeg. That's the only time you're going to get.
Sean Monahan a year ago, and they got pumped in round 1, and there's a first rounder that could have helped you build, right?
Exactly.
Just
done it a
and
lot.
we can move on. I was just saying, the point being, if you were running that team, how do you get better? As well, we won the President's Trophy. We were top 3 in goals. We were tops in goals against. But then in the playoffs, our goalie shits himself.
Mhm.
What can I do about that? Can I?
Call a psychiatrist.
Because I feel like rather than free agency or drafting and developing, what do I do to get my goalie
What's the
to be the goalie he is in the regular season when it's playoffs, especially on the road?
Mhm.
Can we play all of them at home? How How do we do that?
One team wins, Dean.
It's such a tough tournament, man. It really is. Because everyone's going to say, this is why these guys are failures. This is why these guys lost. You're not a winner because of this. When there's 13 really good teams probably in the tournament. Only one.
And then there's teams that didn't make it that still think they're good.
And those are the teams that are going to go bananas for Marner. Because imagine if we could just get into this tournament.
Oh, baby.
So we've got a game tonight.
Yeah.
That's
Eastern
great.
Conference.
I'll
Final
be
game 1.
Freezing my balls at softball.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that at
Oh,
baseball.
great.
Please, Lord.
Softball should
Open
not
up
be a
the
Calgary
skies
sport.
and allow the rain to
Not until they
pour
pour a
down.
dome over the city.
God.
It's the worst.
It's Nenshi.
Is it Nancy? Does the spring weather here? Frickin' Nancy.
I mean, I'm fine with the spring weather, I guess. Just don't make me sit outside in it.
You gotta get one of those things to cover
Tent.
the tent. A personalized tent. You just put your chair in there. You're gonna love it.
And then all you need is like,
Then people don't talk to you.
yeah, you'd love it.
You can put a sign up on each side. Even
Do not disturb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sleeping.
Grumpy bear.
I'll get you one.
Thanks.
Make sure you bring the pegs because the wind's really.
Oh.
Yeah, the wind. It's not good.
Peg it.
Not ideal.
You're upset about your Jets, aren't you? You wish there was-
No, I mean,
No.
what I told you last week, they can't win on the road. You don't win a cup when you don't win road games. Are you going to have home ice throughout? And
I'm not sure about all this deep analysis that you're.
told you, they're frauds. They are frauds to a certain extent. When, at least their goalie is. What's the matter, buddy? Do you not like leaving home? What's the matter? You
Oh,
like
I thought I
Boomer?
played good. I feel good.
I played
He
great.
was
I
fine
feel
in
really
game
good.
that last game.
He was better at the end. That
Yeah.
gives you hope. But again, that's tough division. Not unlike Toronto. I kind of feel for them. It's like, oh, you're in with these teams loaded with superstars going to the Hall of Fame. Fun.
I feel like I remember people saying that about the 80s. There was
In
a
Smythe division, hell yeah. Ask
really
this
good
guy in Manitoba
team.
about it.
And then the other teams had a real hard.
Wasn't there a decade where it was only Calgary or Edmonton that went to the final?
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
That's
at
wild.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the
Jack,
Smythe. Yeah, second round. You're-
How was your weekend? We didn't ask you.
or care.
Oh, you don't care?
Oh, team.
I asked
I
you before
care.
the show.
I get the updates throughout the weekend, so I get the
It
the
was my
blurry drunken
buddy's-
text at midnight from him.
26th birthday. We got banged up, and then I'm here now. That's my weekend.
You're missing a very important piece here.
Feels like there's some loss there. Yeah.
What?
Threw a little tidbit in the show chat. What did you tackle in 30 minutes?
The 999. We did the Jays in 30. It was on. We were
I don't-
pre-drinking.
I don't
and
believe
the,
this is possible.
How did
we didn't do 9 dogs, but we did. We set up 9 beers, and we
30
ripped
minutes.
and did 9 beers
between the group of you?
between the group of us.
So
and
not
then
individually.
no,
you
yeah.
understand how the 999
No,
works,
let 'em
don't you? Like
Yes, it's 9 beers, 9 dogs, 9 innings
Per
Mhm.
guy.
per,
per
guy.
guy. Yeah.
Yes, there was no hot dogs involved.
And the group of you sat around and drank 9 beer.
Yeah,
Each.
and then they signed up for.
You-
I got them all signed up.
Each of you drank 9 beer in 30 minutes.
Yes,
22 without commercials.
they might have been a little longer than 30 minutes, but
Well,
I was
by
gonna say,
my
he kept
math,
saying we did it. I said, no, you didn't.
I'm calling. Yeah,
You're
I'm calling
puking.
supreme bullshit.
I did
on
it.
this.
No, you didn't. You know what happened? You got so much beer in you. You watched Jays in 30 twice in a row, and you thought you
might
did
have
it in
happened.
30
It might-
minutes.
it might
we
have
did
looped.
6 in
It always
30.
loops.
That would
Does it
still
loop?
be once every 5 minutes.
It's a brisk pace.
Does it loop? Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway, a bunch of his Lugans are signed up. They're ready to dominate.
Well, they drank enough to have some fun.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It's the 999. 9 innings of beer. not 9 hot dog baseball innings. Did you really think you drank 9 beer in 30 minutes?
it
He's
really felt
convinced.
that way. And the way I felt the rest of the weekend, I think so.
Because I saw the text come through. I didn't even react to it. So, what is it?
No, that's the typo there.
So there you see it. It's coming up. It is a presentation of Greta, of Bonton Meat Market, and Origin. The 999. 9 beers, 9 dogs, over 9 innings, real innings of baseball.
Yeah.
It is $9.99 to get in and watch. We're going to be doing it next Friday at Greta, May 30th. General admission gets you a dog and a beer
That's a perfect deal. They're right there to begin
for
with.
$9.99. That's
Yeah.
a hell of a deal. And if you want to take part, if you feel you're up to it, $29.99. All of the money going, well, the proceeds going to charity. Woods Homes going to be the beneficiary on this. 9 hot dogs and 9 beers.
Now, there's
for-
only so many spots, too.
That's
for
correct.
And if Jack got his hooligan buddies to
Yeah,
sign
it's
up,
filling
we're
up quick here.
gonna
You
be,
got to get moving if you want to do this. Although the general admission is a nice move because you risk of vomiting or being,
Yeah, if you want to be a wuss, go ahead.
Can I read you the conversation Jack and I had?
I would love it.
Because it's like, now maybe you could read your part in it, Jack, if you want to go to indoor
I don't
chat.
Some
even
role
remember
play?
talking to you.
Well, that's why we'll read it back
I
and forth.
don't remember.
So if you want to go up to the Anson Carter GIF, we'll start there. We'll start reading on page 9 here.
Right.
Picking up things scene 2 at the
Yeah,
library.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me know when you're ready, Jack. So he says, 9 beers, 9 innings. We just did it for Jays in 30. And I said, you didn't have 9 beers in 30 minutes. Jack
I'm
says,
not even caught up.
we did Jays in 30. I said, again, you did not have 9 beers in 30 minutes. Again, we did Jays in 30. 9 beers in 30 minutes? Yes. No. Yes, we did. No. Yes. No. You would all puke. Yes. There isn't enough room in stomach. The boys are now signed up. It's easy.
Except, and you didn't do the hot dogs,
No.
which is a.
I feel
It's a
like
big piece.
I
that's
feel like that's a
filler.
big component of the event.
Again,
Now
though,
he
you're
did the 30, so
The
you
30
can't
minutes
be mad
is-
at
We're
him.
just training,
If
we're
you
training.
could do
They're training.
999 in 30, that's world class right there.
yeah, that's Joey Chestnut shit right there.
That's real impressive. Get 2 t-shirts then.
You will get a I completed the 999 t-shirt should you complete it.
Not if you don't.
My buddies are excited. Like, that's a great deal. $29.99
Oh.
for 9 beers and 9
Yeah,
dogs.
see, thrifty.
It's a value play.
Yeah, it is a value play.
It is. And we got to thank Greg at Bonton for the dogs.
Yeah,
we got to thank
Bonton Meat Market,
Origin.
Origin. We'll get them put on this this graphic as well, because of course they're presenting sponsors, along with Greta, who is going to set us up in the alley.
In the alley.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Will be fun.
It's, all of a sudden, we're a week and a half away.
Now, have
Nice.
you been training?
Yeah. I'm sort of on Jack's program.
I was going to say,
take us a beer in on the long weekend.
yeah,
Watching a little baseball.
you didn't
Part's
do
gonna be-
9 and 30. Yes, we did.
No. Yes. No.
Yes.
And,
Maybe.
and I've been that guy where it's like, I'll watch Jays in 30 3 times in a row when I'm hammered. Like, oh no, I forgot what happened to this inning.
Yeah.
So you could think it's 30. There's no way that was 30 minutes.
Or they were watching. They thought it was the game. So it's already the 7th inning.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast this game's going.
It's new rules.
How stupid are your friends, Jack?
pretty dumb.
yeah, they're big lummoxes. They're idiots.
Yeah, that's good. And they're all going to be there.
Lots of them going to be there. My mom's going to be there.
Oh dear, that's a horrible idea. Hey mom, want to see my idiot buddies puke all over the place? There's an hour of free gaming.
My mom is going to be there. She'll be so
She's
proud.
very excited.
I want to see what you do for work.
Oh,
Jackie
Jack,
boy.
how are the boys at work treating you?
Are your coworkers going to be there? I'd like to meet them. I'd like to see what it is you do. I'm so proud of you, Jack.
Oh, look out, honey.
Oh, Jackie.
Let's get them up, son.
Let's do the Pinder Report. We'll move on. Village Honda. What were you saying before the show? Say,
I'm looking at cars. I got to get a car.
Is it Honda
from
Ridgeline? Is
somebody
that a,
wants a
uh,
vehicle, and he's all over me.
You're kidding.
Anthony won't answer. Said
I
about-
don't know. I
Probably asking for a free car, which that's
text the
Hey, how about a freebie? It's not
general
free.
you
manager.
gotta pay
I need
for
a
a
car.
vehicle. He'll help you.
Jeez.
In addition to selling vehicles, they want to buy your pre-owned vehicle. All makes, all models. Appraisals are complimentary. They love having the used lot jammed. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
You get a deal done, you'll get payment in 24 hours. VillageHonda.com. Complimentary. That means
Free.
almost nothing.
Pinder
Report.
Let's go to flamesnation.ca, see what the writers are writing about Rhett in Flames land, where
Still?
it's got to be quiet. It's got to be settling down. And nope, we got Flames prospects going to the Memorial Cup, which kicks off on Friday.
2 good names there. Etienne Basha.
Etienne Morin, Andrew Basha, both heading to the Memorial Cup. Congrats to the Tigers. Congrats to Moncton. Rimouski is hosting. And what is it? London representing?
They're back.
London's back. That starts Friday. The host against the Dub. Can't wait. Go Hat. Go Tigers. El Tigre.
Yeah. Sweet Willie D.
Sweet Willie D. You had any good chats with Sweet Willie?
Tone.
Like
No, I
Willie.
haven't. No.
Great junior coach. A lot of history there. Flames will be squaring off today, actually, like in an hour here at the World Championships in Sweden, where the host, Trey Kroner, will have Rasmus Andersson and Michael Backlund on the ice against Mackenzie Weegar of Team Canada. I will say this. That's a sexy jersey. The Swedes know what they're doing with those jerseys.
Looks like Rasmus is taking a leak right there. He's like, I just. Oh, it's warm. Oh.
That's what you see, hey? Okay.
That's okay. Interesting.
Didn't go there myself, but the quote is, I'm under his skin already. This is from the Flames. They've got a story about, of course, a little beaking going back and forth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that
They're having some there's
poor
some
Weegar.
tomfoolery afoot.
you guys?
Poor Uyghurs
Yeah,
on the receiving end of some jabs.
Well, I'm gonna get
they
you.
better
No,
watch
you're
him.
not.
Give me
Yes,
shit.
I am.
Of course, Sweden's the host. Canada just lost to Finland in a shootout yesterday in one of the final round robin games here.
So you
Here we go.
didn't pull it up and have the highlight?
No, you don't need the highlights. It's a boring game.
We'll get taken off the air. They'll take us down.
Meanwhile, the Flames, yeah, that is the tournament where they do that. That's a good point. UFAs and RFAs, we haven't really got too far into it. There's the list. We could probably tackle this over the next 2 months, fellas.
Gone.
But you got some U's that were
Gone.
interesting, and we've got some R's that are young and some that we'll see you later. Lots of work there. We don't need to get into it now.
You're
but just a
right, yeah.
reminder, Connie's got some work to do still. Got to figure out who we're keeping, who we're shaking loose. If you're working down at 555 Saddle Dome Rest.
Connie, call me. I'll give you.
Let's get all the answers. Here.
I'll list them 1 to 10.
Meanwhile, the bracket almost done. Only a couple spots left. Look at that.
Oh, we didn't do picks.
There's your final four. Well, you got to do our picks.
Do you have a breakdown of last round?
I do. It's on the table over there. Jack can grab it for me. Although
It's
I think I
not
know
part of
how
your
I want it.
report.
Oh, it's going to be outside of the report. That's fine. Speaking of your final
don't know how we're doing.
four, yeah, Dallas and Edmonton again. And then, yeah, you got Florida and Carolina again, but it was 2 years ago.
Else we got this.
And they're playing Mario Kart here with Zambonis. Not sure what this is. Okay. Love the art, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great art. Okay. Eastern Conference Final is a rematch. Goes tonight. Svechnikov, on a 3-game goal scoring streak. One back of Rantanen for the goal scoring lead in the playoffs. And Marchand comes in red hot thanks to his 3-point game 7. He was very good against Toronto, as you noted.
Do you need the extra long dash between the 1 and a 9?
It does go that way. That's 2 dashes. I think it automatically switches to that. Yeah.
Is it necessary though?
I think that's the standard formatting for the NHL. Goals, assists, dash, points.
Okay.
Is it?
Don't know why, but yeah.
That annoys me.
Okay. Noted. We'll get Gary to fix that ASAP.
Gary's not going to listen.
It is 6 o'clock start Mountain tonight. You guys are going to check in and see Carolina in the playoffs. Just got in. First game. People care.
Nice.
Kachuk's not healthy, but he is still impacting things. Is that
The
what you're
fact
watching?
that I don't need to belabor this. He dressed for the Four Nations final and he's still not healthy.
He did sit for months after that, but yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's significant. He'll probably be a surgery
I know.
guy.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Kyle Connor didn't play
Why in the
in that game.
How did you and why did you allow him to dress when you knew well he couldn't?
You know what this is
What?
becoming? It's stuck in his craw.
It's in my backpack.
And it's a great point. I'm not fighting you on it. It's in your craw.
Yep.
Can't get it out.
Will it be on TVA? Where can I watch on
TVA.
Max?
Who's this Max fellow?
Just wondering where I can watch it.
Pete DeBoer, he's through again. Boy, that seems like he's been in the well, yeah, it's because he has 6 of the last 7 years, Western Conference Final. He's also been fired twice. Welcome
high
to being
bar.
an NHL coach.
Yeah, it's a high bar.
To the Sharks,
Good luck,
then
Pete.
Vegas, and then yeah, wow, that's a lot. Holy,
Well,
Good luck this year, Pete.
Pete, always loved you.
Great
Like-
guy.
Pete's a good name. You got that good luck charm behind the bench. Let's keep her going, Dallas. Let's go.
Like him.
South
Like him a lot.
Africa? No, that would be De Boer. De Boer.
Well, I mean, it would be Dutch in background.
Dutch.
Yeah.
That's the,
It's because they
the Dutch West
colonized
Indies, Dean.
The Netherlands?
Holland.
Then who are the Dutch?
Let's keep moving. The Leafs. Well, they did leafy things. That is 8 consecutive winner-take-all playoff losses in a row.
Yay! We're number
o-
one.
Only the Rangers over the course of a half century had a worse run.
Look at the team beside them, though.
Yeah.
That's a juggernaut, or supposedly.
Yeah, it wasn't then, though, but yeah. Oh, no, I guess they're
Which-
still present. Yeah, you're right.
To the
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
They have won a cup in that span.
That's a nice little.
Just saying, if you threw a cup in there, no one would care about this.
That's all the
That's
Leafs need to do is
100%. Just win a cup.
mix one in, fellas.
Just one.
Just one.
Everyone will get off your goddamn back if you just win a cup.
Just one cup. Look what happened to Ovi and the Capitals. You can
Just
go
one.
parade in the
Then
city.
you're a winner.
Hang out in fountains, and it'll bring it up again. Now, well, there's always next year, Toronto.
Go get them, boys.
By the way, these games that they've lost, if you look at the far right column, the probability of losing these games, it's like a parlay, right?
Okay.
So less than 0.3% chance of
Oh,
losing
you're
8
just
games
saying
in a row.
because it's
like
happening
this.
so often. You're bound
It's,
to.
bound to win one of them. Nope, that's 8 in a row.
And I knew that just in my brain. I
Yeah.
told Mark Dayel, former
Yeah.
Blade,
He told him.
that the Leafs were going to win that game.
And again, it's a lot of Boston in there.
Idiot.
And one little Columbus in the bubble and the stupid Canadian division with the Habs. You're up 3-1. That's really the embarrassing one.
Yeah, they blew that big time.
Better team, 3-1 lead, and
you
you
pissed
just
your pants,
you
fellas.
pooped yourself. Yep. Gross. Let's keep moving. What else have we got? Mitch Marner was heated. Marchand first. Yeah, he kind of owns them 5 in a row. First player in NHL history to be 5-0 and winner take all games against an opponent.
It's not all on him. He's got to be put in those spots by the team that he's
Oh, of course, but
Yeah.
it's a nice stat to have.
5's a number, though.
Like to walk
It's not
around
two.
Toronto, kind of feel like you own the city a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But how many times have you done it? 3,
5.
2, 5.
Oh shit,
It's getting to be a.
that's a lot. Actually,
And how many of you? Oh, none. So it's like a.
so you're 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah, and this time I led the entire round in scoring. I
I
was
was probably the
top.
best player.
Oh,
in the ice,
jeez.
yeah.
All right.
1,000 winning percentage against you.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, wake the bleep up,
Yeah.
Mitch. Where are you going to wake up? How do you like Salt Lake?
Wake
Do you like
up.
Vegas?
He does look like he cares there, but I don't know.
Yeah. The whole talk about Sidney Crosby's positivity at the Four Nations wearing off on him.
That's
Not
gone.
sure about that one there.
Mhm.
No, it doesn't mean Sid doesn't get heated at
Ooh,
times.
international call. Could be calling me
He's-
international.
He's frothing at the mouth there, as you
Yeah.
can see. That's
It's not-
Colorado.
That's Joe Sakic. He wants you.
What did
So
I
of course,
say?
then we got to
Oh
do
my
the
gosh,
Jordan
there's
memes again because
a lot of them.
Do there's a lot of Jordans there?
feel for them.
Do you?
I kind of do.
I
It's
mean,
one thing for your team to lose or miss. It's gut wrenching just about every time.
some dude photoshopped himself in. Everyone else
Guy's
is
okay.
like, I'm happy.
Why would a guy do that
I was cheering for Canada. I wasn't cheering for the Leafs.
amidst that crowd?
Hmm.
Anyway,
No, these things ain't like the other ones. That's tough. And in Calgary, even Leafs fans, note that look at that. That's like as you get to Bow Trail heading west out of the city. There's the Bow. It's 4th or 6th there. Yeah, it hurts. Hurts everywhere, even if you're not in
So-
Toronto.
bro has had enough.
Bros.
Sorry, bro.
Bros. Bruh.
Yeah.
Stuff. All right, that's probably about it. Oh no, well, there's free
Whoa.
jerseys online too. Sorry, I got to get to this. Rhett, you want a free jersey?
Those the ones off the ice or
Scoop that.
just
Those are free, but already spoken for.
yeah. A lot of people doing things with their jerseys.
Again, if you can't, if you're only listening, this is a looks like either a Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, Craigslist, something. Maple Leafs Marner jersey, price free, just listed. Description: I can't bear it any longer.
There is a conversation ongoing, some negotiations happening there. Message sent to sellers, so maybe they got a deal
Got a
struck.
hot.
Now, could you pay for shipping? Because I'm taking it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some burning and some destroying and shredding and driving vehicles over and
Right. Yeah.
Well, life's serious, Dean.
yeah.
Memorial Cup starts Friday. Here's the schedule. Again, we told you WHL against hosts on Friday. I think that's how they've started most of these tournaments. Dub against the hosts. Don't know why that is, but it is what it is.
Because they're trying to screw over the Dub.
Right.
Unless the Dub hosts, then they don't play the
There'd
Dub.
be 2 Dub teams. So
Yeah,
that would
might
still
be.
be Dub versus the
Why
hosts.
not?
Like in Kelowna next year, they'll have to play a team from the Dub at some point. Bet you that's the opener. Either way, final will be Sunday, June 1. So this is the next week and a half. Buckle up.
I know the one that the Hitmen were at in Brandon. They opened against Taylor Hall and the
Londons. Or no, Windsor Spitfires.
Windsor Spitfires.
Yeah. Greg Nemus and company, of course.
That's right.
So I remember that too. Greg.
Draft and develop.
That's right.
That's all you need to do. It's easy.
Hey, some teams in town are winning. All right, Dane? Let's go down to Atco Field on Saturday.
At least with your first rounders, right? It's
Oh,
easy.
look at this. 3-0
3-0.
in stoppage time. Why not 4? There it is.
Suck it.
That's how you do it. Look at the hair.
Blonde, I've got yellow.
Is that coming back to
Shoes.
bleached hair now? I think it is. The baggy pants are back.
Are you in there anywhere?
There's too much
No,
denim out there
so
lately.
rich.
We were having a discussion.
Too much
Too much denim.
Way too much denim.
Like the clothing's too baggy, too much of it, or just too many people wearing denim?
Did you see some in the crowd there? Is that what came to
No,
mind?
just
A lot of rain
Let me
jackets.
take a look here at Warner's whiteboard corner.
People I hang out with have
that it?
noticed a trend.
Cavs off to a great start.
Well,
That's
Tommy's not wearing denim.
No, God, no. He's too well sharp for that. Sharply dressed. 4-0, you love it. Absolute rocket for the first goal, 7 minutes in.
At least they're
Morshevsky.
not having draws all the time. Like
They
the
don't. They
last
play
two.
really exciting. This is not a boring footy side. And they'll be in Vancouver tomorrow. This
Let's
is
go.
Canadian Championship.
Let's go. You love Vancouver.
They'll be back in Calgary hosting the second
You
leg.
flew out there
in the
for a
summer.
shitty concert. You're not going to
It's
fly
not
out
shitty.
for this?
Tremendous concert.
Terrible.
I,
Yeah,
did.
and he flies out for comedians too.
Cheesy, dumb. It's
Yeah.
your second home.
Probably not going for this though.
This is in Langley. Maybe when Messi was there, that
Langley.
was your chance to do it. They still did be
I'd not gone to Langley.
Not
Not
to go
going
back
to
to
that. Didn't the Stampeders play in Langley or something this weekend?
They played in Victoria. We'll get to it in a moment.
All right.
Surge were in action as well. Stupid Niagara. They're rolling. They
shit.
beat them. They were up by a ton. Surge came surging back, pun intended, but couldn't win the race to the target score. of
The
98.
target score.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the target score.
It's awesome. You always walk off the end of the game. It's a walk off every game. Next action for these guys. Oh, no, not these jerks.
oh no.
Stinking Sea Bears.
What?
I think Sea Bears. Jack's
Oh
got some.
no.
See it at all. It looks like.
It's very small.
Yeah.
Eyes are bad.
Oh,
Are your eyes bad?
Look at this. Sunday the 25th. Stinking Sea Bears. 1-1. Okay. As for the Stamps, you mentioned it. They were, I believe, in Victoria at Starlight Stadium, the home of Pacific FC.
Oh,
Who were getting stomped by the Cavs at Atco. 26-16. That's an interesting name and number combination.
Yes, yes, it is.
it's got a big number 1 there.
I'm glad
Well,
I
Jack,
wasn't
there's nothing
there.
else to say there, is there? I think we have a highlight of this game. Maybe we just play that.
Children.
There's no highlight. Is that the quarterback boner
Can
one?
we run the
Bonner.
It's not a bo-
Next.
Spell.
I know he can't.
It's not his fault.
You know what? It's staggeringly amazing.
He's employed though. He's got a job.
Yes, yeah.
This will be his next job if he keeps saying things
You
like
didn't
that.
mention the Calgary
This
Canucks.
is this is the
Well, you
highlights?
did. You already mentioned
Well,
it. We gave
where's
him
the
the love.
show? The DuPont kid won, and like, come on, Moran.
We've talked about it. We've congratulated.
Okay, so the Stampeder highlights.
This.
Here we go. This is Jack's next job.
Honor the quarterback.
Looks like a normal thing to do. I just. As you can be. Working on a podcast to Marta Looper this, Jack. Huh? Does not look safe.
This time I can't get this.
Okay, let's get to the next one.
You think he's getting paid to do this?
I don't
They're putting on a show here. The Chargers for sure.
If you're just listening and you're not watching, you're missing.
You're
nothing.
welcome.
It's
You're
okay.
winning. You're welcome.
There's nothing
You're
you're
welcome.
missing in this.
Congratulations.
Jack and his buddies, the only thing they were missing on the
lucky duck.
weekend was the hot dog fountain. because of course they did the beers and the baseball. But
Are we going to have one of these at Greta?
I'd be rude not to. I'll talk to Casey. I don't think he's
Some wiener water?
Yeah, a lot of wiener water.
Hot dogs on the different tiers. My
Yeah.
guests can sip on the
bowl of
savory
wiener
hot
water
dog
soup.
Yeah, have a sip of that. That's gonna be great.
hilarious.
Oh wow, yeah.
This is so
They're
fun.
into. It's always an
It's
unforgettable.
good.
This is
And finally, Rhett was running a hockey camp. He's giving back. Alumni of
always
the
give
Flames. And they
Oh.
letting the kids know at a young age how things go.
Gloves, shirt. Good.
Yeah. It's your Warner whiteboard. On your Pinder Report.
That is very, yeah. It
On
is
a
very
Tuesday.
Warner-esque.
Stick.
It's good. I like it.
Gloves. Shirt.
that's a great time killer for a camp. If you
Teach kids how
instructors
to-
out there.
Boy, there's 15 minutes left. Jesus, what am I going to do? Oh, Rhett told me I should teach him how to fight. Great idea.
Village Honda Car and Driver Magazine, again, has the Honda Accord, the #1 midsize sedan. New features, improvements, augmentations on the new 2025 edition. Take one for a rip, bud. Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. There, your dealership for life, villagehonda.com.
Yeah.
Things are really slowing down, aren't they?
Are they?
I don't know. Are they?
Well, sport, like one game. What if it's 3-0 after? I guess in
You,
this.
you are, by all means, you turn it off if it's 3-0.
No, don't do it. No lead is safe in these playoffs. These playoffs are wild and crazy.
Mhm.
With Dallas Edmonton, I would keep it on. Carolina and Florida might be the two best at locking it down.
So our picks from last round, I
Did you
think
grab
we all
that?
swung and missed on Vegas Edmonton.
Yes. There's two sheets right on the
That's a
table.
standard.
I think we all missed there.
That's correct. Even AI
Um,
missed on that.
Did you take the Leafs?
Nope. We all took Florida.
We all took Florida.
We all took
I did.
Dallas.
I don't remember making these picks.
And the only one where we had any non-consistency was you guys had Washington. Jack and I had Carolina. AI had Washington.
There you go.
Stupid.
2-4, 2-4, 3-4, 3-4.
Nice. Well, we can start. We can do the next one. Then.
Yeah, it's having a rough one.
Do you have it in you? Do you have it? Do you feel like
It's only
Well,
two.
I feel like we know
you can do
but we
one-
have to choose the one.
You don't have to do anything. You just do whatever you
it
want.
starts tonight? You can hold off on the next series until tomorrow, being that it'll be the day of game.
It's not going to change my opinion, though.
I was
I'm
going to suggest that, but
a huge Stars fan. Always have been
Stars
since
fan.
'99.
That's right. You loved them then,
from,
didn't you?
from since '99.
yeah, all
Can you
the
get
way
AI
back.
loaded up too?
It's incredible. Yeah. What can we tell you about this series? The Eastern Conference. The Hurricanes finished behind the Capitals, 47-30-5. Florida Panthers, 47-31-4. Nearly
Oh.
identical regular season records.
Neither won their division. Neither really cared.
Yeah. Similar. Wow. 16-21-4 on the road, though, the Carolina Hurricanes. How about that?
How about them?
You've got
odds?
47 wins. And you're a ways under 500 there.
5 games, Dean.
Yeah. Panthers 2019-2. Again, it feels like bringing up regular season stuff with Florida is a fool's errand.
None of these teams won their division. They're all left standing. So yeah, I'd agree.
Regardless of who wins this series, they will start on the road next round, as both Dallas and Edmonton had superior records.
Correct.
So there is that.
Canes didn't get to 100 points. Seems weird. They kind of had a cold stretch. The ranting thing threw them off for a bit.
55 points only, yeah. Oh, sorry, 99 for the Canes, 98 for the Panthers.
Who wants to go first?
What's the 55 for?
It was just the same number, 9955.
It's a reach.
Okay.
Oh, it's definitely a reach.
Give yourself a shovel if you want.
Yeah.
Fine with me.
My drunk uncle Daryl just turned 60, and he's an idiot that loves the Steelers as well. So
Mm.
he falls into that
As all idiots do.
that category,
right.
and he's cheering for Carolina. So I'll take the Panthers and the Stars.
Brett's always taking the Panthers. God bless you. And you're taking Dallas as well?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do it like that again.
I guess we could.
That's only two. That's
It's taking away some content from tomorrow's show.
Oh,
but,
no.
That's fine.
Like you say, I feel like it's probably
Jack, you want to jump in anywhere?
Yeah, I will go.
Carolina, because he's an idiot Steelers fan.
Right, nailed it. I'm an idiot Steelers fan, so I'm going to take Carolina.
attaboy.
And I'm with Dallas as well. Florida's got to be tired. Come on.
Tired of what?
Yeah, lifting your hands in the air after
Yeah.
scoring is exhausting.
Well, then the cup, they had to lift that. That's
Yeah,
like
they
40
lifted-
pounds.
yeah.
God, that's heavy.
Yeah, plus the burden of being a cup champion. They've looked really
You got all those guys
overwhelmed
that
by it all.
won the Four Nations. They had to lift that trophy
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Fuck, heavy.
Yeah. Kachuk didn't, thankfully. He's
They had to push up that umbrella on the beach, like in the sun
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh God.
lifting those drinks all summer.
Yeah, the whole cooler across to the beach.
Yeah.
Jeez, tough.
Maybe he wouldn't be injured if he.
I'm gonna take Carolina and Dallas. Good. And boom, boom.
Really?
Hmm.
Huh.
Carolina the whole way so far.
Didn't you say you were taking Carolina?
I said Florida.
No.
He said he had a drunk idiot.
Oh, I thought you were
Steelers
siding with
Steelers.
your
No.
uncle. I thought.
No, he's a drunk.
Oh, I
No.
see.
inside with him.
Yeah, I'm
Another-
gonna take Florida. And now, someone brought it to my attention. I don't watch that closely.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm doing the show. I'm not paying that close attention to it. Were we wearing similar clothing during rounds 1 and 2?
You know what I'll notice some days because we get all this origin gear.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll be wearing like
Yeah,
a
like today I
similar
have
hoodie.
the same shirt, so I'll wear something different.
Yeah, or I'll have a hoodie. I'll throw on the hoodie if the t-shirt's the same. Or
If
the
anything,
t-shirt.
we'll try and
I
avoid
don't-
wearing the same thing.
I don't
I don't recall anything.
subject myself
Yeah.
to the fashion police.
I'm
When
not
I
a
put,
fashion
I
plate.
put things on and then I wear it and then I take it off.
Yeah.
I'm not too.
We just do the show. It's more with the content than what we're wearing.
Somebody was saying, like we wore Kings stuff on the same.
Is that a brand? No,
I don't know.
Kings.
Let's just be conscious not to do that. This
Cognizant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll maybe in the group chat in the morning.
Yeah, we'll
just
be
say what you're
aware.
wearing.
Make sure
I've got C to E. I'll try to remember, but
that
Well,
we're,
you just wear whatever you want. We'll bring you some
impartial.
changes of yeah.
because if it's giving a team luck or a jinx or whatever, we certainly don't want to do that. I will take Dallas
Oh, Dallas. Okay, interesting.
in this round.
And AI has to make picks because
For the first time since January, the Dallas Stars come into a series with a full roster. They have Heiskanen, they have Robertson, they are ready to go. On the other side, Matthias Ekholm
been skating.
got into his first practice, I believe it was yesterday. Friedman said on his podcast, it was supposed to be like 15 weeks was the timetable for this injury. It's
many weeks in are we?
about 5.
Yeah, that seems
April
early.
11th is when the injury took place. And he was
Oh.
injured prior to that. Remember, he kind of came
this
back.
is Friedman's reporting on stuff that was from the 1980s.
That's when Ekholm got hurt.
Oh, but that's it takes for you got all these fancy new machines,
Brett loves
the
his science. Huh?
hyperbaric chambers,
Yeah.
AI robots giving him massage. Like,
Ear lights.
what are you talking about?
Let's go.
The world's changed. Try to keep up with the times.
So anyway, yeah, Ekholm back at practice. Not expected to play in games 1 and 2. He's been ruled out,
that what they're
in
saying?
fact,
Okay.
for games 1 and 2.
So whether this is misdirection or he's a real threat to play, only the Oilers know.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right. How's AI been doing?
AI's had a really tough go. Round 1, AI had 3 out of 8. Round 2, 2 for 4.
Yeah, I see. Because when we did round 1, I was a little concerned because I thought maybe AI was out to lunch a bit.
Yeah, the picks are all a little wonky. They had
But
St.
AI
Louis,
is-
Montreal, Minnesota, Ottawa. A lot of upsets, AI.
Yeah, AI is so smart, but yet didn't fare well.
Yeah, Rick keeps telling us how smart AI is, and then it's like we
Is
asked
it
him for the
possible
Flames to
that-
draft last year. It was like some duster in the 5th round.
That this is the one thing that AI can't do, Rhett,
Take our job, please.
or at least pick. Imagine if it could.
It's not allowed to because
Because betting?
It says, listen, I'm just you
Just,
have to say just for fun.
just
Right.
for fun.
Funsies.
Yeah. So who's AI like in these two series?
All right, Eastern Conference.
Yeah. What do we got?
Oh wait, it's giving me a breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't care about the breakdown. Just
Do you want me to do a read while we're waiting for you to?
Yeah, go ahead. It's no, I don't want
Bring
you to
it on in.
stop generating.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
so
like a
mad.
you loser. Stupid AI.
Just let me know.
Go ahead, Dean.
Hearing loss clinic. They are the best. The thing about the hearing loss clinic is, yeah, they are the best at what they do. They will change your life in a it's going to make a very positive impact on your life. The very best at what they do, they are in this city and they're unbelievable humans. They're wonderful people.
Again, better than us. We've noticed a
Yeah.
lot of our clients. Yeah.
It's maybe a thing for Tree. We need quality people who are very good, elite at what they do, but we're a team.
That's right.
And we get the results that we're after. I'll see if Rhodesy wants to talk to Tree.
Let's take some notes.
Yeah, just here's what we do at the hearing loss clinic to be the best.
Maybe you can win some hardware
Yeah.
like we do.
Just kind of every year we're
Yeah.
very fortunate. We're winning awards. We're the best at what we do. And it has a lot to do with the quality people that we have. Pay attention, Brad.
Worth the
No
conversation.
one's leaving the jerseys at the store.
That's right. No one's throwing their hearing aids on the doorstep.
Showing up on weekends, throwing them.
That's
against the
right. No one's
windows.
doing
No, They're happy.
Locally owned and operated. It's the Hearing Loss Clinic. Studies show health risks like dementia, depression, and others have been linked to untreated hearing loss. There's no, I don't know what excuse there is left. With the massive change this can make in your daily life, at home, at work, wherever you go, your hearing is likely something that can be improved upon. Helping you hear better is simply their way of helping you live better. Book an assessment today, hearingloss.ca. Even the stuff, these are called in-ears in the music business.
In-ear monitors.
Like, because sometimes if you're a band or whatever, and you don't have in-ears, they'll have the monitor speakers so that you can hear what you're playing and that sort of thing.
Can you maybe do some of that so we can see?
I don't know what the hell you're talking
If
about.
you're on stage and you're slapping the bass, and you don't have your in-ears, you got the speakers, like the amps behind you, or you got the monitor speaker.
This is
back
worse
at
than
you,
the stupid
so you can
clip
hear what
that
you're
he
doing.
Showed of the guy doing the motorcycle across the ravine.
With this here, they're able to. So you're going to hear just your voice, maybe
Right.
the person you're harmonizing, your
Different mix.
your
maybe?
instrument. Yeah.
Can you show us again the bass?
Well, the bass, you're going to give it.
Jack, full
Maybe
screen.
you're thumping with. And it depends how high you have it, right? So maybe it's a little bit lower. Kind of doing one of these.
Kathy plays the bass. She could do this.
Yeah, I think if I'd have her high.
Tells you.
You're a high rider?
Yeah, I'd have it up high.
Then I got high. Then I got high. Then I got high.
And I'd be wearing my in-ears from Hearing Loss Clinic.
Yeah,
That's what I'd be
obviously.
doing.
Yeah. Look like a pro, dude. It's really getting into this.
He's tapping
Tap
his
his
foot.
toe or no? You're gonna get Jets
Well,
coming
yeah.
yelling at us.
You're part of the rhythm section.
You're in the band.
You're keeping the beat along with the drummer.
Slapping the bass.
Slap of the bass, man. So funny.
Dallas and Florida.
Okay, very good. Fly down.
So we're as smart as AI.
It's not good after the first two rounds. If we are. All right.
There's some teams that we kind of give the benefit of the doubt to. It's like, don't worry about the regular season. They're built for playoffs. They'll be judged by how they fare in the playoffs.
Mhm.
So you don't get too bent out of shape about any issues they have
Mhm.
during the regular season. Have we been guilty to maybe not use that to it? Okay.
See you, buddies.
Because we can't. We got other stuff to do. Yeah, because I'm just wondering because I want to be fair.
Yes and no. Like there's been some players that have come out of nowhere to look really good that no one could have foreseen. Like there's
We're
guys that have
talking
spent a
about-
lot of time in the press box
Yes.
that all of a sudden
Why?
look good. I told him I didn't want to.
Just because that's
Jeez, you had a rough weekend.
Bet365. Want to get into the action for the Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you from game props, player props, totals, and the money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You must be 19 or older.
Couple games today we've talked about. One briefly because of the Calgary Flames content at the
Nate.
World Championships. Nate Dogg.
2+
points, plus 150. I like that against the Swedes. And Florida are dogs at plus 105.
No, the Cats.
Their underdogs are the Cats.
Okay, start again. What?
The Florida Panthers are dogs because they're
They are.
Underdogs.
They never give up.
plus
They
105.
play hard.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
Yeah.
What does he say?
Fight Club? Don't talk about Fight Club.
No, you keep
Oh, keep
you
your
always
dogs.
keep your dogs.
That's what Nas said.
It's rule number one.
D just went blue screen. You got to reset him.
I'm sorry. Yep. That is rule number one.
I think we got a long series here. We'll see if the Panthers stay in rhythm versus Carolina's been sitting for a while. We'll see.
The rhythm.
Plus 105. You don't take my bets. Those are just the ones I like. Lots more out there. In fact,
have you watched?
series odds. There it is. Look at this.
Look at this.
Panthers favored to win the series minus 130, even though they're dogs, the Cats.
This
dogs.
again, like what?
And the Oilers minus 120 to win the series. Dallas is even money to win the series. It's all there. Bet 365. Never ordinary.
I took a look-see yesterday. The Conn Smythe odds
Yeah.
have been posted. It's a little tight. I tried to make it as big as I could there because I know your eyes are going. We'll talk about that. The Conn Smythe, that's given to the most valuable player or who is deemed as such by the working media
In the playoffs.
in the playoffs. Connor McDavid, a plus 360. Rantanen, plus 400. Frederick Anderson, plus 500.
Old Hank.
Freddie's been
Interesting.
very good. Best goalie in the playoffs. No one's
Old
talking about
Bobber, plus
it.
800.
I like the value there. That's good. Yeah.
Well, Leon at plus 1,000.
Leon.
Barkov, 1,400, along with Jake Ottinger.
Otter.
Jake the Snake. Matthew Tkachuk, plus 2,500.
Toy.
Like, I don't think Sam Reinhart's going to be here. That would be the way to do it. Work backwards. Who don't you think is going to?
No. If the Stars win the cup, absolutely.
Yeah, real good chance.
Barkov, no, because he should have won it last year and still didn't.
Yeah.
Draisaitl, no, because they'll give it McDavid again. Bobrovsky, yes, if they win the cup. Rantanen,
Had a pretty damn good playoffs.
real good. And I
Getting
could.
the playoffs and goals.
I don't want to bet for that guy to win.
Nico.
No.
Oh, the guy above that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to win back-to-back Conn Smythe on the losing side, I'd be okay with that.
I do wonder about Barkov. Because he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
He's Bergeron.
Would this be
guys.
one of those things where finally the stupid media are like, let's give him the credit he deserves?
Wow, but you've got the Bobber sitting there too.
Yeah. But if Bobber's okay, because
Then they don't win, and then Barkov doesn't win the Smythe anyway.
well, that's true. Yes.
You know,
yes.
you know what the dirty little secret here is?
Eh.
It's everything that happens between now and the end is going to weigh into this trophy more than
What?
anything we've watched so far.
So what you're saying is, if the Canes don't make it to the Cup final, Frederick Anderson.
Not going to win.
Oh,
What I'm also saying is if Mikko Rantanen, who's been the best player in the playoffs for the first two rounds, isn't for the last two rounds of the playoffs, he's not winning that thing.
oh. So this is kind of a shot in the dark guess kind of thing.
Feels like there's we really don't know who's going to win this. Jeez.
Yeah.
Please don't be that.
Is there a halfway point that like it?
The half Smythe?
Yeah.
Maybe you could bet for top three in voting. I don't know.
I don't think so. Kind of. It's
No,
Can
it's
I
all
parlay
nothing.
this?
With
there's only there's kind of only
you got Appalachia State playing this weekend? You want to?
they're pretty yeah. They're pretty adamant. This one is a one winner wins
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
kind of thing. What do you think, Jack? How do you feel about the Conn Smythe odds and the likelihood of these gentlemen to win it?
Frederick Anderson's going to win it.
Oh,
the Hurricanes are
he's
gonna
on
win the cup.
Carolina train.
That's great.
You know what?
The most
Mark it
boring
down.
pick ever, Frederick Anderson.
May 20th. If it happens, no, that's a complete shot in the dark brilliance
Yeah.
by you.
Deep.
Although I do think that anything coming from you, if it's brilliance, it's pure fluke.
Yeah. What's that, about 1 in 5 chance?
Complete.
This-
1 in 5.
If Jake Ottinger wants to go full 2022 round one against the Flames, I'd be okay with that too. The 970 something. Remember how good he was that series? And you're like, a
970.
star is born. And we've seen flashes of it, but never a series like that. That was unbelievable.
Thank you, Bet365. Download the app, get in on the game, an official partner. The Stanley Cup playoffs must be 19 or older. We've taken our runs at Carolina. And round 3 sometimes can, I don't know if it's because the weather turns nicer or there's fewer games on and there's less teams to that. What are your hopes? We now know who's going to be in round 3. Will round 3 surprise us and be great, be entertaining? Will we enjoy it? Or will it be another one of those? I I know who I don't want to win. There's some teams that I don't care if they win.
Give us some long series.
I know.
Some
short
long
series.
overtimes.
Yeah, overtimes I'm into that.
I'm all happy to have good hockey and tight series, but I feel like these things,
Yeah.
somebody figures out, okay, this is how we play against you, and we're better than you, and then we're going to win. And then the other team's like, shit, we want to play the same way we did against those other teams, and it's not working. Damn.
And the beauty is,
Is there any Florida fatigue setting in? Because that's what happens with some fans. It's like, I've had enough of these guys. They went to the cup final, then they won, and now they're back. Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah. Look, the way they play, you can't help but just say, like, I'm watching.
Yeah, they're not.
They're nasty. They're pricks. They're dirty. They're clutch. They win. Marchand there's a nice new flavor. Seth
Yeah.
Jones had a huge goal for them.
I was
on
going to
Sunday.
say he has
25 minutes a night in the postseason.
he is enjoying his time in Florida.
Weird.
Rough start, but he's been awesome in the playoffs.
Yeah. So you leave a bad team and go to a really good team, and then you're
Half point a game, way ahead on the scoring chance for against, and 25 a night.
because I'm with you. I'm not. There's no fatigue there. I like that kind of. There's some a-hole flavor to it that I enjoy.
The sweat hogs at the Moss Pit are getting a little tired. I could do without that.
There are a few.
Yeah, fighting each other. I don't know what that's about. Okay, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
You do you.
I know they were
Gotta
talking.
mark your territory.
Yeah, they were talking about it on
With each
Chiclets-
other?
on Chiclets the other day. That it's like, well, they've gotten this far. It's kind of like it's a good luck thing. So they just got to keep punching each other in the Moss Pit and in the concourse.
It's just a little bit stabbier than a lot of other markets in this league. I've been somebody's like, no, that's like you're up in Edmonton, you get in a bunch of fights. And you're, really? You ever get in fights in Calgary? Nah.
They're good
Just
people.
Edmonton.
Just odd that they seem to be fighting one another
That's the thing.
after victories.
None. Yeah. Oh, a win. You must all be happy. No.
Well,
What could you be arguing about?
no super chats today.
What?
No super chats.
I know Handsome Dan's going to weigh in. He does his random team machine that he'll donate money when they win.
Yeah, we'll do
We'll
it
see who it
tomorrow.
is for
We can
round
do it
3.
tomorrow. It's fine. There's no pressure. No pressure there. Tomorrow will already be Wednesday.
Yes.
So we will have Jamie McLennan on the program. We'll be able to react to this game tonight and get ready for the next one tomorrow because we're boop, game day, game day, game day, game day, game day
Until we
That's what
series
you're
end.
getting.
There's a game every night.
in round 3. No days off.
NDO, Dean.
That's right.
No.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my neck.
By the way, I believe they're getting engaged. That's happening.
That's really something.
It's
Ooh.
the craziest story ever. No days off.
Bill.
And the
Bill's lost his marbles.
Bill with his 25-year-old, 24-year-old
where did they meet? The cockpit? And there was a flight.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember.
See you, buddies.